Yo, what's poppin' guys, and welcome back to another Scratch tutorial on making a RPG game. In the last one, we focused mainly on, well no, entirely, on selling and buying in a shop system, which got a bit complex, I won't lie, but today we should have something the smallest bit easier. We have crafting, that's what we're focusing on today, how to make a crafting sort of thing. But before we get into that, I do want to show you this bit of code that I forgot to add in our items video. This little bit right here. It allows us to open and close our inventory at will whenever we want, right? Pretty simple, honestly. So what it is when the key I pressed, if actually, you know what we could do? What we should do is really put this in player and then put this in player controls is really what we should do. For sure, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Put it in here, and then grab yourself an if and put it just around that. Make sure these are not in it. If sensing key. Oh, that's not key. Oh my goodness. Key I, or whatever you want to use to open your inventory. That's not an I. That's an I. So you can open and close your inventory just whenever you want, really. So the code for it is basically if inventory open equals no. So you're going to want to create a in player, you're going to want to create a variable for this sprite only. Make sure it's for this sprite only, so it'll look like this, player, or whatever you're calling the name of your player, colon, in open, 0. Just so it only shows up here, just to save up on clutter, right? So if it equals no, which you should set it to no when the green flag is clicked. So just like, set inventory open to no. Just make sure you have that. Then you will show inventory. By the way, those aren't your Discord notifications, they're mine. You just can't see them. They're right here. You just can't see them. So, show. I'm just gonna close Discord so I don't distract myself. Okay. So, show list inventory. Set inventory open to yes. And then this else. Grab another if else and do if inventory open equals yes. Hide inventory. Set inventory to open to no. Pretty basic. Just lets you open and close your inventory whenever you want. Yeah, that's really it. Okay, so now, if you see in this game, I added ourselves another item. Obviously, you already know how to do that, so there's no need for me to show you how to do that on the video. So basically up here, I just added a stick, right? Like that's it. I just added a stick, which will come in handy for this video. I'm going to teach you how to craft. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate our shopman, cause okay, we're not gonna duplicate shopman. We're gonna duplicate test NPC and take shopman spawn settings and put it in test NPC 2. And then you're gonna just take this stuff, smack that out, pop that in, name him whatever you want. I'm gonna name him Craftman, just because Craftman is, he's the guy that does all the crafting. Now the reason I put shopman stuff in here is because I want him to be inside the shop building because everything else is kind of cluttered, So that's literally the only reasoning. So I'm gonna paint him orange because I don't know. I just think that's a craft guy kind of thing. We're gonna go to our backdrop test building, and oh my goodness, I'm actually an idiot. And we are just going to show the guy, put him where we want him. I want him like here. That's why I want Craftman. And again, you're gonna change his XY, which you can check it right here. So our X is negative 202, and our Y is negative 64. Awesome. Now we run the game. We hop up in test building. There's Craftman. Pretty basic, pretty basic. Now, in here we have that shop text open from our shopman. We're going to just take this and we're going to make the new message. Crafting tab open. I don't know. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to events and pull out that check we're going to pull out that crafting tab open, and we're going to go to variables and create two lists. We're going to make crafting recipes, right? If you know how to spell those, definitely do it. You don't have to worry about this one. This one will never be shown, so you can just hide that right away. And you're going to make another one that's just called crafting. This one will be shown, so you're going to want to make sure that you know you have it. And I'm going to put it up here just like this. Just because, you know, my guys are here, I want to be able to see all the talking and stuff, and I don't want stuff to be covering it. You know how it goes. Cool. So, when I receive crafting tab open, you are going to pretty much, actually, this crafting recipes thing literally isn't even necessary. This is just for you if you really wanted it. You do not need it, though. You 100% do not need it. What you could do instead that do literally the exact same thing, just go ahead and make yourself a comment. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Windows, you're freaking out on me. Calm down. And you're just going to put up all your recipes like right in this little note. For example, I'm going to teach you how to make a sword today, right? And this sword will do, it'll cause, we'll copy the classic Minecraft stone sword crafting recipe, which is 1 stick, 2 rocks. In our case, normally it's stone in Minecraft, but just make sure you have tab of what it costs to make each item, okay? Make sure you do that. Also, in your inventory management, you remember when we made, or in our test items when we made this thing? Yeah, make sure you set up a place for your stick or whatever new items you make. And also, whenever you craft a new item, whenever you set up a new item to craft, make sure you have that set so you can give it an ID as well. Even though right now we don't have anywhere that it actually sets an item ID to 4 for a sword, just make sure you have it there so you remember, so you can revert back to this and see, oh, item ID 4 is a sword. Just make sure it's put somewhere so you remember. Now, in our crafting tab open, we are going to both show crafting and show inventory. Now what we're going to set up is a system to determine whether or not you can craft any item that you want to craft. Obviously, I'm only going to do this once because I only have one item that I'm going to craft in this video. Obviously, you can take the code that I use to craft one item, duplicate it as much as you need to be able to make as many items as you want. So, how do we do that? It's actually very easy. So what we're going to do is go to Control and grab yourself an if-else statement. Now where it comes in when you take your crafting recipe that you came up for this item, and you need to first of all select, so I have 2 items, right? There's 2 different kinds of items. That's what we need to figure out first, 2 different kinds of items. How many different kinds of items are you going to have? In this case, mine is 2, so I'm going to grab an AND, because there's 2 slots. If you had 3 items, you'd grab another AND, so there's 3 slots. If you had 4, 5, you get it, right? For as many items as you have, make sure there's that many ANDs. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to grab this little contains, which is also an operators, and you're going to just leave it out for now. You're going to go down to variables, and then underneath your list settings, you're going to go ahead and grab a just grab this grab your inventory, right? Just this block in general, this little bubble thing, and put it right in that place where it says apple. And on this other side, you're going to grab any of the items that is in the recipe. So for example, mine is stick. So you're going to type in stick. You get it? And you're going to place it in there. Now also, I need a rock. So you're going to duplicate this, put it in there, and on this other side, just put rock. So now we need it'll check if inventory has a stick and a rock. If it has at least 1 stick and a rock, it'll say, you know, yes. Which in our case, it doesn't, so it said false when I clicked that. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to come down to Control and grab yourself an if statement. And what we are going to do is you're going to grab an AND, again, because there's 2 different kinds of items. And in this AND, what you're going to do is you're going to do a greater than and a greater than. You're going to come up to your variables and grab stick number, or whatever your first thing is, in case I need 1 stick for this occasion, right? In my occasion, I need 1 singular stick. So how do you do that? What's 1 less than 1? 0. 0. So if your stick number is greater than 0, meaning if you have 1 or more sticks, you'll be able to craft it. Now for the other side, you are going to grab a rock. Since rock is the other item we need, you're going to put that in this other side. We need 2 rocks, So we'll do if rocks is greater than 1, because what's greater than 1? 2. So 2 and beyond, as long as you have 1 stick and 2 rocks, or anything above that, you will be able to make this sword. So that's what this is checking. So first, it checks right here if you have a stick and a rock in your inventory. Then it makes sure you have the specific amount you need. And if that all is true, it will add sword to crafting. But now you want to also let them know that that's the items you need, right? So you can just do this. Do like a space, hyphen space, and then just basically just put this in here. So, you know, sword, 1 stick, 2 rocks, just to let them know. Just let them know the item, and then the items needed. Pretty easy, right? But again, that won't even show up if you don't have the items. Pretty cool. So, now, let's check and see if that works. So, ooh, look at that. We forgot that. How basic of us. When the green flag click, just make sure you hide crafting. Pretty cool, right? Now, what is this right here? Artifact number. Why did artifact number show? Hold up. Oh, do we not have artifact number hide? Are we idiots? Wow. We are dumb, guys. Okay, so we get into here and we come up into our guy. And look, nothing is added to crafting because we cannot physically craft anything. Now, if we come in here and we pick up 2 rocks and a stick, so we grab 2 rocks, avoid the artifacts, come up and grab ourselves this little stick, come back down and go into our task building and talk to this guy. We now have sword show up with the recipe needed, as well as showing that we have the needed items in our inventory to create that sword. Now, since we figured out how to make it show that we can create, right? We need to figure out next is how to actually give that item to us. Alright, so the way we will set this up is through a little bit of a system. We're going to duplicate this just to get the crafting tab open again. And in this, we're going to go to sensing and grab an ask. And we are going to ask, what would you like to craft? Type number corresponding to item wanted. Awesome. So, now if we wanted to go craft a sword, for example, we do 1, because right here, I don't know if you can really see that in the video, it says 1 right here. So 1 is a sword, which is 2, 1 stick, and 2 rocks. Cool, right? So what would you like to craft? Type number corresponding to item wanted. Blah, 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 blah. Boom. There it is. Bing, back, pow, bada, bom, boom. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to have to set up a little bit of a system, which might be a little bit difficult. Well, I don't know if it's difficult, but anyways, here's what we're going to do. Obviously, we can't just say, if it's 1, give sword. Because, judging by the order, we wouldn't know if sword would be number 1 based on how it sets it up. Obviously, if like you had another thing that was like, I don't know, fishing rod, you need to like stick and string, right? And you only had stick and string, you didn't have a rock, so sword wouldn't show up in the first place. Fishing rod would. It'd be in the number 1 spot. So you can't just say 1, give sword, right? So what we're going to do instead is we are going to make a check of what equals what. So what we're going to want to do is I'm going to have you, while you're adding items, this is very important, okay? So incredibly important, okay? Seriously, I'm serious. It's super important. Make sure that the name of your item inside of this has no spaces. Like, for example, fishing rod. If you wanted this to be fishing rod, please do that. Do this. Oh my goodness. That. Do this. Do not put the space there. You can put the space in later for when they have it in your inventory, but for right now, do not put space in there. Don't do it, okay? That is so important. I cannot stress that enough. Do not do it. Okay, cool. Now, what we'll do is we will say if we'll need to grab a little bit, and I'll call this, we'll make a new variable, and we'll call it answer, and we'll do for this sprite only, right? So, well, actually, that's actually stupid. I don't even need to do that, because we have an answer bubble right there. Okay, so now, we will need a, oh boy, I'm having like a stroke right now. Okay, sorry. I just had to have my little fit right there. So what we're gonna do, go down to control, is grab an if else. If equals, well, you don't even need to do that actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, so what we can do is we will do if crafting contains answer. So if we, well, let's say if we just did 1. Let's see if that even works. False. Okay, that wouldn't work. So we're going to have to set that up a bit of a different way. So, yeah, this will still work. Yeah, that'll work. So we will do, okay, yeah. So we're going to have to do something along the lines of the if item answer of crafting, right? Item 1 of craft, item answer of crafting, or item 1 of crafting, sword, all that good stuff, right? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it again, we wouldn't even need to do that. Super sorry for my malfunction of the brain. I had one way to do it that I planned for this video, and then I thought of another way, and now I thought of an even easier way. I keep thinking of ways to make this so much easier for you. So right here, what would you like to craft? Instead, we can do type the name of the item. You'll have to type they'll have to type the name of the item exactly as it's written, which again, for the love of everything that is holy, do not put spaces in these, okay? Stress that to them. Stress that. No spaces. Make sure they get it. Okay, so now we will grab this contains, right? Right here. And this might look familiar to this. Just simply do if inventory, or not inventory, make sure this is crafting. If crafting contains sword. But we're not going to do sword. Instead, we're going to do answer. Now, what we need to check is we need to make a, we'll do a check, right? We'll make it, that's how you spell check. We'll make a check for this sprite only. And we will, well, you could just do it right here, actually. So set check to answer, that's not check, that's item, or artifact number. Set check to answer, and then right here, just do check, just like that. Now what we can do is we will do, so we will ask, are you sure? Right here we'll do, are you sure you want to craft a, oh, don't forget join. We need joins, operators. Operators. And grab yourself this. I'm just going to put it in there. Make sure there's a space after the so that when you add in this next piece, and make sure it's just check. Well, you might want to do another one. Put check in there, and then make this last one a question mark. So it says this. Are you sure you want to craft a 0? Check is 0. It'll say whatever you typed in. But, you know, put that right there. So it'd be, so you'd say, what would you like to craft? We'd say sword. And then it'd say if crafting contains sword. And then, and if that is true, if it does contain sword, it'll ask you, are you sure you want to craft a sword? Right? And then this will be a, I'm going to do this one more time. Change that to that. Then do a space right here. Y/n for yes or no. There, so instead it'll say this. Boop. Pretty basic, pretty basic. Now we will do an if else right underneath there. If answer equals yes, or y, right? You could really make it either way there. I'm just going to make it say yes or no because we're already used to doing that on my previous parts in this series. So yes, if your answer equals yes, then what you will do, we'll come to our shopman and we'll refer to when we bought stuff, right? So referring to when we buy things, okay? what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to run a check to like see how many we need to get rid of, right? But it's not nearly as hard, right? So we can come to Craftman, and now we're gonna start setting this up. Oh, and a real quick little thing to add in here. Oh, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. I just moved the entire screen. I'm super sorry. So right here, I didn't mean to just make it like nauseous or something. Right here we have at the end of this crafting tab open, when it adds everything to the crafting recipes, broadcast and ask to craft, and then change this that we just made to ask to craft, just so it adds everything to the crafting and then asks what you want to craft. Just a little precaution to make sure you don't ask for something that you can't craft while you can craft it, and it just didn't have time to load in, so you didn't have time to craft it. Just do that, okay? So what we're going to do is, now since we know it's a sword, this is already checking, and now we know for a fact it's a sword, right? This little bit right here is confirming for a fact that we have a sword and you can craft it, right? So this shows that you have the option of crafting it, and then this is showing that it contains it, meaning you will be able to craft it. So then what we'll need to do is we'll need to do a little bit of some changing. So we will need to change our stick number by -1, right? Because we used a stick. We will also need to change our rock number by -2 because we used 2 rocks, right? And then we will also want to set up a sword, right? Now, sword gets a bit funk, right? So basically, we will create a variable and call it sword number for how many swords we have. Why you'd have more than 1 swords, I have no idea. You tell me why you're having more than 1 swords. You're the one playing the game, weirdo. And that's stick. I'm dumb. Sword by 1. And then we will do the little classic from down here. Remember this thing? Set item ID. And then item pickup. Well, this set item ID we don't really necessarily need to do, because it does it automatically. But so item pickup, it'll broadcast then our item pickup to make it'll then update all the items in our inventory. Broadcast item pickup. So you see all the stuff we have in our inventory right here. These rock and stick should go down to 0, and we should get a new one that says sword, and it should equal 1. Okay, now if you've seen there, absolutely nothing happened, right? Why did that happen? See, why aren't we changing our rock numbers by #2 and then broadcasting pickup? Why isn't that working? That's what we have to figure out. So we'll take a look at our test items and see again how our code works for it. So for stick, here I am. Oh wait, this would be inventory management. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. I'm so slow. Oh no, I'm not. It's right here. So item ID equals 3, which is what my stick is. Set inventory 0. This is all picking it up. So realistically, now what we should do is repeat length of inventory. Set check to 1. Check inventory contains stick, which it does. It did, right? Replace check of inventory 1 with join stick with stick number. And it changes it and then should proceed to do this. So why it doesn't work? Honestly, I'm now confused. Now I'm confused. So let me pick up 2 rocks real quick and the stick, and then we'll go up there and make ourselves a sword. God, I really could have made that easier on myself, but you know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, oh hey, look, it showed it twice. The way to fix that is to delete all of crafting when the game is opened, because that's just left over from the last time. So would we choose 1? Are you sure you want to craft a 1? Okay. That's right. We didn't add it. And it does contain 1. It technically does contain 1. And then even if we were to say yes, nothing would happen because 1 doesn't actually exist as a thing. So hold up. Gotta grab these sticks again and stuff, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So we say, would you like name of the item? We want a, okay, now, okay. That's an issue. So new crafting tab open. Ah, that's the issue, that's the issue. You delete all of crafting when you get this. Boom, and then it only shows 1. There we go. So, we don't want the name of our item. We want a sword. Alright, it pops up multiple times because I'm an idiot and didn't do it right. 1 second. Alright, here we are. Super sorry for the little inconveniences right there. Boom. What do we want? We want a sword. Okay, why are you asking multiple times now? You're messing with my head. Oh, I think it might be because it's that. It might need to do that one. Hold up. Make sure it's just change it to that, and the broadcast Ashcraft and wait. I think that's the issue. Okay, let's test that. What do we want? We want a sword. Okay, now it asks it twice. It asks oh my lord. It asks it twice, which is why I'm confused. Whoa. I just had like an aneurysm trying to say that sentence right there. Alright, so here you go. Once again, trying again. Talk up to him. What would you like to craft? Name the item. No spaces. WS. Or that's. Oh my goodness. SWORD. Sword. Are you sure? Okay, there we go. So it was this and wait thing. Are you sure you want to craft a sword? Let me just put that in the position. Sure you want to craft a sword? Yeah. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yes. Okay, now it asks us again, which is why I'm really confused, right? Like, why is it saying it again? Hold up. And now it's just... Yeah. Alright, well, I gotta fix that. Hold up. Alright. I know it might cause some lag for some of you, but, you know, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep doing this crafting tab, both of these crafting tab. Chances are, by the time it loads everything up, people are just gonna be done reading it. There's no way they're gonna think of it that fast. There's, like, actually no way. Unless they, like, really tried, but I wouldn't super worry about it. So, we want a sword. What do you want to craft a sword? Yeah. Okay, it gets rid of our sticks, right? It got rid of the stick. Now, why didn't it get rid of the rock? That's what we want to figure out. Is it only the top one that it does? Because that might be it. Oh, I actually think I know why. I think actually. I think it's because when you broadcast item pickup, right? It runs it once. And it only does one of them. It only does one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it does it once. It does it once. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then it do sticks first because it was... Okay, that makes sense. So then what I'd want to do is just repeat this 3 times. Item pickup. I think so. I think that's it. I'll go check. Alright, here we are. Talk to this person. We want a sword. And it asked us twice again for some reason. Should we want to craft a sword? Yes. Still need to get rid of our sticks. Why did it do that? Alright, everyone. I have figured out the fix. The fix is pretty basic, honestly. Don't know why. Again, I like to tell you guys, Scratch likes to just not work how it should sometimes. So basically what you have to do is right in this yes, where we had this, make a new broadcast and call it craft, right? Then under this craft, do if else check equals sword, right? Or whatever the item is that you just crafted. You're going to do one at a time, basically, is what you're doing. You're doing one at a time. Set item ID to 1, which is rocks. Change rocks by -2. Bam, item pickup. Then you can't just add this to get rid of the sticks. Doesn't work like that. Sometimes you gotta add a wait time. Don't ask why. Scratch is weird all the time. Probably because these will be running at the same time and you just need to give it time to do the first function before the second one. Grab the second one, set item ID to 3, which in my case is 6, sticks, or whatever your next item is. Stick number by -1, broadcast item pickup. Alright, and in that case, then after that, it'd get rid of both of your things. So we're not giving you the sword yet. However, we are testing to make sure that it'll take away the items that are needed to create it. So we have 2 rocks and 1 stick, as you can see down there. I'll actually go ahead and hide those right now. Those aren't necessary to show anymore, because it'll show it in our inventory when we get inside. Okay, we have 2 rocks and 1 stick. we want to craft a sword. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. Why it wants me to type multiple times. Whatever. So, do you want to craft a sword? We type in yes, and when we hit enter, our rock should go to 0 and our stick should go to 0. And bam, they did. Rocks are now at 0, sticks are now at 0. But now we need to add the sword to our inventory. How do we go about doing that? That's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is come to our inventory management, right? Duplicate up here, so we get this entire thing starting from item ID number. Put it in here. Basically then, change that to 4. Then right here, all you need to do is make this sword. And now at this point, if you had fishing rod like I used in my last example, now you could put the space you want. Now you can do that. But before, don't do it. But right now you could. So sword 1. Basically fill everything in with sword. So this stick turns to sword. This stick turns to sword. This stick number changes to sword number. And this last one changes to sword 1. Okay, cool. Now, come back to Craftman. And duplicate this one more time. Smack that right underneath. Wait the 0.1 seconds. Set item ID to whatever your sword is. Mine is 4. And again, 4 equals sword. As I set that up, yours might be different depending on how many items you already have added. Then you're going to change your sword number by a positive one because you're giving yourself a sword. And then you broadcast item pickup. Pretty cool, right? Then you under here you'll say like crafted just to let them know for a second. And then do not forget to give your player his controls back. Their controls back. Let's check that to see if it works. First of all, let's go in there and talk to him and see if we can even get the sword right now, despite the fact we have nothing in our inventory. See, look, it doesn't even show up. Doesn't matter what we put. Doesn't matter. But do not forget, however, right here, to grab yourself a hide crafting, hide inventory, put 1 there, and smack 1 underneath there. Just in case they craft something that doesn't exist, it'll just hide it all. Cool. Now I'll test that one more time just to make sure that works. So let's just pick up a stone and like an artifact. Who knows? So we have a stone, or a rock and an artifact. So, an artifact. We can't make anything, right? That's not in there, is it? Look at that. Just gets rid of it. And doesn't give our controls back. That's a very basic fix. Very basic fix. Oh, that's because this is stop controls, first of all. Make that controls. You want to give the player controls, not take it away from them. Put that there. And yeah, that's it. Test that one more time. Just to make sure it works. 100%. I will have to figure out why it's wanting me to do it multiple times. It's really weird. And there we go. Now I can move. So now if we go pick up both of the stones and the stick. Here, I'll even show you that it works if we have like artifacts in our inventory too. I'll just pick up all the items. And then a stick. So now you see we have 2 rocks, 2 artifacts, and a sticker in our inventory. So, would you like to craft? We want to craft a sword. Do you want to craft a sword? Yes. Watch our rocks and our sticks. They should both go down to 0, and we should a sword should be added to the inventory. Crafted. Okay, it said crafted. Let's see if it worked. There it is. Okay, well no. Our sticks are 1 again for some reason, and then our sword is 1. That just a loud vehicle outside. That's really cool. So then my guess as to why the sticks didn't go away is because of this wait time. It might need to be longer. So like you might want to, depending on, make it like 0.05. 0.05. You really just have to test. The longer it the more stuff you have on the list, like the longer the list is, probably the longer that wait time would need to be. So, or maybe I'm just broken and it's not working now for some reason. Because, you know, Scratch, again, just likes to not work sometimes. You want a sword. Do you want a sword? Yes. Could I show it? There we go. That was the problem, the time. So we have 0 rocks, 0 sticks, 1 sword. Very, Very cool. So, that's where I'm going to leave this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it anyways, because I just told you so. I just told you so. So yeah. While you're at it, why not subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content? That'd help me out a lot. I'm trying to get it to 1,000, so that'd be kind of cool. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join this link in the description. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.